Hi guys, Yiannis, Christodoulou, 2019 European and National Aquathlon Champion in my age group. And in today's video, I'm going to discuss the difference between the Polar Vantage V and the Polar Vantage V2. Welcome back to the channel guys, and if you're new to the channel, hello, and please subscribe and like the video. So I'm now going to discuss the difference between the Polar Vantage V1 and the 2, purely because a lot of you have asked me to do a comparison. Now first of all, what I want to say is that I was a great lover of the V800 when I was using it a lot, and what I do miss on these two watches is that it used to have your name on it. It was a nice little touch. It had your name on the main screen, and hopefully Polar can put this in these watches in the future, well on the V2 hopefully. So I'm going to discuss now the differences. So as you can see that they're both roughly the same sort of design. It's a bit slightly different, this design here, and it's the V2 definitely feels a lot lighter, so you can tell it's a lot lighter, and it definitely does feel snug when you're wearing it on your wrist. Now one thing that's good about this that I think is good improvement is the fact that, as you can see, the screen color is a lot better, so that's good. So you can see the screen, and it's much better. And I've been using this the last like 3 weeks in training, and I've used both of them actually in both hands to see the both arms, sorry, to see the difference. And I just really like the upgrades they've done. Now with the problem with the old one is that the screen was okay. It was a bit it wasn't as bright, but you could still see it in the dark, so it was fine. So I didn't have a problem with that. So that's one key difference at the moment. So the next thing is, I don't think you can see that the lasers might not come on with the lasers. I think it's trying to come on here. So the heart rate wrist monitor is a lot better on this watch, and so therefore be more accurate. But I always say, if you want to use a heart rate monitor, always use a strap, because it's a lot more accurate. And the battery is longer, so the battery is longer on the V2, and simple, it lasts a lot longer than the other one. So both are really good watches. I mean, I love the V watch, and what they've done in the V2, the upgrades, is I really like the way that Polar are going. So let me just go through some features that do not feature on the V. So firstly, you'll see the weather app. There's no weather on this on the V. So the V2 has a weather app, which is quite good. So you can see if you're going to get caught out in rain, if you're going out for a long period of run. Now, a good key feature that I liked was that they have your training summary. Now you don't get this on here. The only thing you get on the V is that you'll get the activity for the day, and then if we scroll through it, you'll get this as well. So it tells you how productive you are. But this is all on the V2 as well. So you get a bit more information. So you can see here, I've done so far this week, I've done 5 hours and a half, 5.5 hours worth of training. So that's good, and it tells you like the intensity and what you've done and all the different colours, so it's quite good. Now the other thing is it allows you to obviously they're both touch screens, but the Polar V2 allows you to play music. Now it hasn't got a music function capability, it hasn't got storage for it, so it doesn't play directly from the watch, but you can control the functions from your phone, and therefore you don't get this on the V. You get smart notifications, which is the same on the version 1 as well. So that there's no change there. So what I'm going to go through quickly is some of the tests. Now, the tests are quite key. So just going through this. So the test that you do not get on the V is a leg recovery test. Now, I've been using it a lot and in my training recently, and what I found is a very good indication of telling you if you've recovered or not, and that's good because you don't get this on the V, and so you just do squat jumps, and basically it tells you whether you recover or not purely, I think, from the way that how high you jump, and that's really good because I didn't think it would work, but when I did it after a hard session, it told me my legs were not recovered. Or even the following day. So it's a good indication, and the more data you get, the more you can be the best you can in your training. So that's a leg recovery test that you cannot get on the V. Now you can get the other standard tests in the V, like the fitness test, for example. But there's two tests here as well that you do not get on the V, and that's the cycling test, so you can get your FTP, and the running VO2 max test. So these are two tests that are really good, and like obviously to be the best in your training, it's always good to go by power by cycling, and running is always good to know your VO2 max and your heart rate max as well, so you're able to get the right zone so you don't overtrain. So that's not on this, so that's another key issue, so a key feature. Another feature is that the watch views, you can change the watch views, and I showed you some of them earlier. So you've got it's up to you if you want to have the weather or on there, or you want to have that screen I showed you earlier where you can tell your training summary. All the screens that are on mine at the moment are the ones that you can have, but you can take them off. Now you can't do this in this watch, so if there's some screens you don't like, you just have to live with it, I'm afraid. So that's pretty much a lot of the differences. The other thing is that they've added the fuel. Let me just show you the fueling. So when you do, so that will give you a reminder. You can't do this on the Polar V. And so you can have fueling, you can tell when you want to do it, and it sets a reminder. You can also, when you look into your activity, you can see if you're used fat or carbs as a burner, what you've been burning. So this is good data to use. Now that's come from the Polar Grit X. So another feature that does not feature in this, and it's come from the Polar Grit X, is the hill splitter. So the hill splitter already automatically, when you're going up a hill, tells you you've done hill splits, and it's quite good because when you go into the Polar Flow app, you'll see all the different the data and everything. So so what they've done is they've upgraded it. I'm no expert, but I presume that they've got a better computer chip because it's a lot faster, the V2, and therefore that's why probably you're getting more functions and stuff on here than the V, and that's probably why it's not been updated. So I think in the future you'll probably see some more updates in the watches. Normally they do put updates in there. So yeah, the V2 I think it's a very good watch. There's a lot more stuff that you can use than the original one hasn't got. Obviously the original one is a fantastic watch, but this just puts it another level. I personally think that it's worth it, and it's better than the V. Now the stuff that I would use more is purely the tests. The tests are really important to me and my training and my ability of how to improve, and I love data. So I think definitely the tests are a key feature of this, and as I mentioned before, the leg recovery test is a very good one, indication of telling you if you are recovered or not. So guys, this is just a comparison of the two watches, and I know you guys asked for it, and I'm going to keep trying this, using this more, and I'll let you know more about it in future videos. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe to the channel and like the channel, and if you want to see anything regarding these watches, please leave a comment in the comments box.
And the champions of this age group category, Pacific, and Yiannis Christodoulou, Christodoulou.